So guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my six model I normally trade every day. Let's dive in. And I've created a PDF about those six model. If you want it, DM me and I'll send it to you. So let me show you model one. So guys, this is model one. And here on the daily time frame, you can see at first create a higher high, higher low, then push up to create a new higher high. Then we have a daily breaker block under here, at the down here. So we want price to push back to it before creating another daily higher high. So we want to be in this sell when price trying to create the daily higher low before creating a new higher high. So we move down to the H4, and on the H4 you can see a price create lower low, then lower high, lower low, then move back to the H4 breaker block right here. This is where we are going to look for confirmation to take the sell position and target the daily breaker block. So let me zoom in and show you the confirmation we need here to take the sell. So right here, you can see when price tap into the breaker block, early sellers start taking the sell. The thing price is going to start moving downward at once, but no, price move down to form a change of character to invite sellers, then sweep them out later. That is exactly what happened here. You can see price went up, sweep all the sellers out, then now make the real change of characters. So whenever you see something like that, we are going to wait for price to retest the breaker block made before the change of character, then we enter and target the daily breaker block. Let me show you model 2. So guys, this is model 2. Same thing on the daily time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we want price to push down to the daily broker block and we want to go in the sell. Then we move to H4. Let me zoom in and show you why it is double trap. So right here on the H4, you can see price made a higher high, lower low, lower high, then a new lower low. Push back to the breaker block. Price tap into it. Early sellers enter. Then price make a change of characters to invite early sellers so that any key level made before the change of characters will not be their main key level to look for sell. When price retraces back to it, they are going to start selling. But then price sell for a little bit before push up and swept all the sellers out, all the early sellers out. The same thing in model 1. That is how I look for confirmation every time. Then price push up and also break the previous lower high. Now, when price break the previous lower high, buyers will not say this is break of structure. They will now be trying to look for their key level. Any key level formed before the break of structure will be their main key level to take to the buy position. Example right here is going to be their key level. You see when price retraces back to it, it starts behaving somehow. But us, we see it different. All we need here is price to create a breaker block, a 4-hour time breaker block or lower time frame breaker block. Then we enter at the retest as exactly you can see here. Why is it double trap? As you can see, when price tap into the breaker block, that is trap 1. Trap all the early sellers. Break the H4 lower high, that is trap 2, trapping all the buyers that is going to buy at any key level form before the break of structure. Let me show you model 3. So guys, this is model 3. Same thing on the daily time frame, higher high, higher low, higher high, targeting the daily breaker block. So we want to be in the side position when price moving to the daily breaker block. Same thing on the H4. But the difference here that when price push back to the H4 breaker block, we could not see any confirmation. So we move to the lower time frame. Any lower time frame, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 1 hour. But we can see when price tap into the H4 breaker block, we move to lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, same thing, the same way we look for our entry confirmation. We wait for price to invite early sellers, sweep them out, and come back and create a new breaker block. Then we enter at the test. But you can enter as soon as price sweep all the early sellers out, but this is very risky. I normally wait for the broker block to form before I enter at the test, but sometimes I can enter as soon as price sweep all the sellers out. Only if there is a important broker block form at this area on the lower time frame. So let me show you model 4. So guys, this is model 4. So on model 4, when price tap into the daily breaker block, it's not a key level for us. So we are expecting price to push up to create a new daily higher high. So we move to the H4. There's no confirmation, so we move to the lower time frame. On the lower time frame, when price tap into the breaker block, price push up a little bit, then start accumulating. When price start accumulating, price push up and break the accumulation high. So now it's still the same thing here. Buyers will now enter at any key level form before the break of such or change of character, then price will push all the way down to sweep all of them out. When price push all the way down to break the accumulation low, sellers will not see it as a break of social, then try to take their trade right from here, but it is still different. We wait for breaker block, then we enter and we test targeting the H4 lower high. But there's a very important key level here. As price start into the daily breaker block, then push up immediately to the previous H4 lower high. No more looking for buy setup, because this place can reverse market back to push down and break the daily higher low. Let me show you model 5. So guys, this is model 5. Same thing with model 4. Price have tapped into the daily breaker block. Then we move to the H4. But when we move to the H4, price start moving up. And also on the lower time frame, we could not find any confirmation. So we wait for price to create a new breaker block on H4. Then we wait for price to retrace back to the H4 breaker block. Then we move to the lower time frame to look for confirmation. Still the same thing. We wait for price to invite early buyers, sweep them out before we take our entry. So let me show you model 6. So this is model 6. Model 6 is different from all the model I've shown you so far. On the day time frame, when price tap into the daily breaker block, price didn't respect it. Price push down and break the previous higher low. As for me, when price break the previous higher low, I now see this as a liquidity sweep. Some trader will see it as a break. They will try to look for a test to continue the sell, but us will see it different. So we move to the lower time frame, because when price creates a new lower low here, it's going to push up to create a new lower high for creating a new lower low. So that's what we're expecting. So move to the H4. On the H4, you can see that when price is trying to create a new daily lower low, it's formed a broker block here, and this is going to be our future target. So here we look for the same confirmation to take the trade, wait for price to invite early buyers, then take them out, and we now enter the position. You can see when price push up to the breaker block form here, price start reacting somehow and start accumulating, then we draw a trend line at the top of the accumulation, wait for price to sweep it. And as soon as we see this, we close our first position, which is the buy position we entered here. Then now look for sales to create a new daily lower low. We still look for the same confirmation, wait for price to invite early sellers, then take them out before we enter our trade. And that is all the model I normally trade. One of the model we show every day, and you can also apply this exact model on the lower time frame using only the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. If you want me to do a video about that, let me know in the comment section. Peace out.